All right. Well, thanks everybody for attending. My name is David Barge. I'm with SAP NS2. Just a quick show of hands is who in the room knows of NS2? Oh, good. We're done here. That's awesome. So a little bit about me. I actually was with SAP. I call it SAP Commercial for many, many years. And about 3 years ago, I moved over to NS2, which is SAP National Security Services. If you're familiar with National Security Services, then you probably know we're actually an SAP company. I'm an SAP employee. It's just because the government has certain proxy requirements for companies that are owned by a foreign country, or I should say registered in a foreign country, and SAP, of course, registered in Germany. So that's why NS2 exists, to make sure that we're separate and that the US government still has jurisdiction over some of our activities. So that's what we do. We're an SAP company, and that's good because we get the same software as SAP is, because we are SAP, and it actually works both ways. Sometimes we actually do some engineering around almost always around security, and we actually give that back to SAP. So it's a two-way relationship. They give us all the goodies, and sometimes we fix some security issues and give it back to them. So we're not a huge company as part of SAP, of course, over 100,000 people, and we're I think in terms of who would actually be working on potential systems of yours, just around 1,000. We have more people in different departments, but we're just a small part of SAP, but a critical part. So I know that's an interesting. I'm not sure what happened to that image. On my screen, it's crazy looking. Like, okay, yeah. Sorry, I can't really tell you everything here. But I think this one, Pat went over PCE quite a bit. What is PCE? Essentially, we do it the same way. And that's the nice thing about NS2 is that it's going to be a similar type of relationship, just with different folks in different infrastructure. So we do the management. We can actually provide just a single SLA for your entire system. And we're managing it. I think one of the key differences is because we do what we consider, regulated environments. So we have a number of different types of regulated environments, and sometimes it can get a little confusing. But let's just say, hey, we've got an environment for commercial regulated customers, and those would be folks like state governments, local governments, aerospace and defense companies. It's basically for folks who aren't part of the US government. That's who actually can go into what we call our commercial regulated environment. We also have another environment for civilian agencies, another one for DoD agencies, and we do a lot of intelligence agency work as well. But that's the nice thing is it really depends on what your needs are. Do you want to be, in a particular environment or not? So that's all I'm going to say about that. So BusinessObjects Enterprise, it's the same product. So my presentation here can be very short because when Pat was talking about, hey, what's new, what's coming, it's the same thing for NS2. It's just that you're hosting it somewhere else. So we sell it in t-shirt sizes, just like Pat was talking about. All of the types of strategies you might use to migrate, say, from an on-prem into Bob J up in a cloud infrastructure, it's the same. It's just the same. The big difference, of course, is that I mentioned those separate environments we have for different needs. So, and when we're talking about needs, we're talking about needs for, say, okay, do I have ITAR needs? Do I have NIST 800 type controls needs? And that's what we do, is we manage different types of controls in these different environments to meet the needs of the agencies and whatever it is they're trying to accomplish here. But everything else is pretty much the same talk to value that you've already heard. So I'm not going to repeat it. So what do we do? Again, it's the same thing. We're providing that same software. We're licensing it the same way. The key difference is with NS2, you're getting a different set of security controls on it. You're getting US people on US soil are managing the environment. So you can meet all of those needs without having to have your own agency ATO, that's already provided. So again, it's SAP application. So PCE, Private Cloud Edition is much more than just BobJ. If you want to bring in a lot of different applications, you can do that within the NS2 environment as well. And if you want to connect to different types of SAP software, it's very easy to do. That said, we have plenty of customers who actually will use some analytics products within the NS2 environment, but they're still connecting back to their on-prem environment to get data, or if they don't want the data to leave their on-prem environment. And we do have customers who are using BobJ, but they're looking at Analytics Cloud and they want to be able to perhaps do a hybrid environment. We do that type of work as well. So if you want to connect BobJ, maybe BobJ on premise, you heard earlier about, say, using Analytics Cloud to connect to your BobJ universes or Webby documents or so forth. It works the same way. It's not, sometimes we get asked, well, hold it, I'm in my agency or in my office and I have to be on a VPN, say, to get to, say, to BobJ or something. It actually doesn't work that way. We use Akamai, we use a firewall around our entire environment. So it is accessible from the internet. It depends on how you want it to access these systems. So there's a variety of environments. There's a variety of ways to access it. So if you're interested in hosting, say, in an NS2 landscape, it's working with your SAP reps to figure out which one fits your needs the best. So, and that's really what we're providing. Same software, but just in a different environment and managed by different type of credential, people with different types of credentials. And really, I told you it was going to be short. It's the same thing. It's just somewhere else being managed. And now do you have any questions? All right. I'm glad I didn't take too long, or else I was just super thorough. Thank you.